This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, coming to you from one of the most famous golf courses in the world, the Stadium Course at TPC Sawgrass. And Frank, not only does this belong to the best players in the world, but really to any player who wants to tee it up.
That's exactly right, Rich. It's open to the public, but that was also one of the directives when they first built this golf course. First of all, to host a championship, but then allow the fans of the game, people out there watching right now, to be able to go and play that very golf course. And they've succeeded.
First hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 423-yard par 4. Nice way for players to get started, Frank. Not too demanding, but still, it requires that you put the golf ball off the tee in the right place.
That's correct, Rich. There is a little bit of water down the right, but that's only really for the grandmothers in the field. Anybody else, drive it down the left, 3-wood, even a 2-on if you're a longer hitter, and then a good chance to start with an opening birdie.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Locked in on the read and the speed. 1 under early in the round. Second hole, it's a par 5.
You'd think birdie or eagle off this team. We've seen a lot during the Players' Championship, but once again, you have to move that tee shot right to left. But be careful of those pines. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow through. Second from an excellent lie. Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
So a tester from 4 feet. So Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. So much focus here, Frank, on 16, 17, and 18. Number 4 is a hole that gets overlooked, but it's a fun one.
Yeah, the second shot here is more daunting, especially when that flag's on the left. So you really do start looking at that blue stuff, water.
is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Starting to really play well, -5. Now to the 5th. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
If you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Not a single weakness today. What a performance. That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
This is impressive now. 6 under par and 2 straight birdies. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the 6th.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit it a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere. Oh, that's fine.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Frank, TPC Sawgrass has been such a great stage for so many great players through the years. I'm thinking about Norman, Couples, Love, Tiger, Phil, Sergio. They've all won here.
Well, when Norman shot that incredible score, that really made them change the golf course. It became a little bit more difficult after that, but seeing Fuzzy Zeller wave the white towel after what was probably one of the best driving exhibitions I've ever seen in my lifetime was something. And, of course, my fellow countryman Craig Perks using just 1 putt over those last 3 holes was memorable.
Really playing some beautiful golf. That's a 5th birdie today. Frank's 7th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. How do you break this one down?
Not overly long, 440 yards, but once again, it's a tee shot. If you're driving the ball well, that's fine. You just sort of blister it down there, but you're starting to lose one a little bit to the right. There's 3 pot bunkers there, and of course, if you're fearful of it going left, there's the canal all the way down the left side that'll get your attention.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Looking to keep it going here, Frank.
Yeah, another example of things just working as they should. Safely on deck.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today. Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Well played here. Went straight for the flagstick, and she will have a nice putt coming up. And getting ready for the putt. Really has a feel on these greens. That is another birdie. This is impressive. Frank, I think this is one of the most fascinating holes on the golf course. The 583-yard par 5 9th hole.
With technology now, a lot more players can reach this par 5 and 2. Gone are the days where it was a true three-shotter, but I remember when Sergio Garcia hit that 3-wood from, what was it, 270, 280 yards? Still one of the best shots I've ever seen.
Frank, such an advantage when you can hit that far.
It's not fair.
Frank, when you think layup shot on a par 5, you think it's easy. This isn't necessarily that simple, is it?
No, you've got to keep the ball to the right. Otherwise, those overhanging limbs on those trees on the left, they become havoc.
That is just an outstanding shot right there. And now a chance for an eagle. She has this putt for eagle. Well, in the words of the late, great baseball commentator for the Yankees, Phil Rizzuto, it's time for holy cow, Whitey. That's 11 under par.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're hitting to a green that moves to the right, so that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Let's go to the 11th. Now it's a par 5 and a fun hole, Frank. You can make anything from 3 to 7 here.
And that's why, as the start of the back nine, especially on a Sunday, this becomes such a pivotal hole to start a run. Big body of sand down the left side that sometimes the longer hitters can get close to with the tee shot, but really it's the second shot. If you can reach this par 5 and 2, it's a very narrow green. The layup, well, it's actually an awkward layup, Rich, because you've got to push that ball to the left side, almost like a zigzag approach. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. On the green in regulation. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Now to the par 4 12th, and it's a pretty short hole, Frank.
Yeah, Pete Dye often doesn't get enough credit for his short par 4s. This is a great example where one of the features of it is the blind second shot, just to give you a little bit of doubt on judging the distance.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough.
Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old length, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Frank, did you just see that?
She just made an ace, Rich. Amazing.
Hole in one. Yes. Now one of the most demanding holes on this golf course, the 14th, 481-yard par 4.
If you ever want a litmus test at TPC Sawgrass on who's playing well, check the tee shots on 14. If you stripe it down here, you know you're driving the ball well. Too often we see people messing with the mounds on the right.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Frank, halfway home on maybe the toughest par 4 in the golf course.
Yeah, for some reason, for such a big green, it's always hard to get that second shot close. Oh, this is straight at it.
It's a really good line. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Getting set now over the putt. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute, seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's 2 little pop bunkers out on the right that, if your first time around, you might notice.
Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. Getting set now for the approach at the 15th.
Yeah, good-looking second shot here, but you've got to be precise. Hardly a flat spot on this green.
That is classy.
Yeah, chance of going in.
Continuing to putt with confidence. You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5.
Sticks the follow through, really likes it. Excellent swing. How about that tee ball? Not just in the fairway, but way down the fairway.
Yeah, a lot of people can hit it long and crooked. Long and straight, that's the hard one to get. That is absolutely in prime position. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Big swing right there, and a great result. And now a chance for a big swing in momentum with an even coming up. Good putt. If you're wondering, I know you are because we're at the 17th. 44 balls in the water here in 2013, 28 in 2014.
That's when the wind laid down, Rich. If the wind gets up, that number will escalate.
Birdie try up next.
Second shot.
Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the right to give you something specifically to aim at. So you've got to fixate on one of those trees. This is not a hole where you want to be looking at anything other than a specific target.
Clip that one perfectly. It spins in there inside of 5 feet. Just a gorgeous shot. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.